Get ready, Friar Faithful. This is the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show on the Padres Radio Network.
Jackson swings, hits it in the air, deep to right field. He has done it again. Unbelievable.
Coming up, we'll have a recap of the previous Padres game, a preview of today's starting pitching matchup, our keys to the game. Plus, we'll hear from manager Mike Shildt.
Ultimately, what we're here to do is win.
From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
San Diego Padres baseball coming up on 97.3 The Fan and the Padres Radio Network. Today, the Padres take on the Tampa Bay Rays in the first game of a three-game series. Our starting pitching matchup today for the Rays, right-hander Shane Baz, and for the Padres, right-hander Michael King. Hi, good everyone. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft at the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 6:40 as the Padres begin a 5-game homestand. Coming up in the next 50 minutes, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We hear from Gavin Sheets. We hear from the newest San Diego Padre reliever, Ryan Bergert. And in just a little bit, we check in with Bob Scanlon. But first, it's time to set the table. Brought to you by Fraser Farms Market. Set your table with the highest quality of natural and organic products from Fraser Farms Market, a San Diego original since 1971 with 3 locations, La Mesa, Vista, and Oceanside, and at FraserFarmsMarket.com. Padres come into today 17-8, still the best record in the National League West by a half game entering this Friday. Padres coming off a 2-4 road trip to Houston and Detroit. They are 12-1 at home to start this season. Meanwhile, the Rays come in 11-14. They just won 2 straight extra inning games against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Rays started the season 4-1. Since then, they've lost 13 of 20. An outstanding pitching matchup today between Shane Baz and Michael King. We'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. Before we turn our full attention to this series against the Rays, let's quickly recap Wednesday's series finale in Detroit.
Did you miss what happened in the last Padres game? Let's take a look back with our Padres Rewind on the Padres Radio Network.
Kyle Hart took the mound for the Padres on Wednesday in Detroit. Gleyber Torres got him early.
ended up making them pay.
This one is hammered to left field, and no doubter. Gleyber Torres up over the old wall in left field. His second home run as a Tiger. Solo shot in the bottom of the first inning. And Detroit, with their first home run of the series, they take a 1-0 lead.
The problem was it stayed 1-0 for a while. Tiger starter Reese Olson was great early on, 5 scoreless innings with just 1 hit given up, 47 pitches through 5 innings. Hart took the mound for the bottom of the 5th inning, still a 1-0 game. He faced Justin Henry Malloy.
This one hit well in the air to deep left center field. Ornelas racing back at the wall, and it's going to go. Line drive, home run to left center for Justin Henry Malloy, his first. And the Tigers have doubled their lead. It's 2-0.
That was the last batter Hart faced. He went 4 innings and a third, allowed the 2 solo home runs. Olson continued to roll for the Tigers. He went 7 scoreless innings to begin his day. Adrian Morejon came in for the bottom half of the 7th inning, trying to keep it a 2-0 game. He gave up a 1-out single. Next up was Malloy.
2-2. Malloy slices it in the air to right. Long run, not going to get there. Gonzalez has to play it on a couple of hops. Now he falls over in foul territory. Sweeney's going to try and score. Iglesias' relay to the plate is on time, but off target, and he scores. Malloy ends up at second base, and the Tiger lead is 3-0.
Later in the inning, Riley Green drove Malloy home with an RBI single. It was 4-0 Tigers. Yuki Matsui gave up a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, and the Padres would fall to the Detroit Tigers 6-0 in the rubber game of a 3-game series on Wednesday, an off day yesterday here in San Diego, and now back at it for the start of a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays with first pitch coming up at 6:40. Well, we told you a little bit earlier we'd hear from the newest Padre, Ryan Bergert. He was called up from AAA El Paso yesterday. Kyle Hart was optioned down to AAA El Paso. So for the moment, and we'll hear more about this from Mike Shildt coming up a little bit later, Padres are going to go with a 4-man rotation of just Michael King, Dylan Cease, Nick Pivetta, and, of course, Randy Vasquez as well. So they'll go with those 4 for the time being. And for the moment, it'll be a bigger bullpen and a 4-man rotation. Schedule works out that way with the off days and whatnot. So, again, Ryan Bergert up from AAA El Paso. We'll see when he makes his major league debut. And Kyle Hart optioned back to AAA yesterday. Let's go inside the Jerry Coleman Broadcast Center and catch up with Bob Scanlon.
Let's take a trip up to the Padres broadcast booth for a deep dive on today's matchup with Bob Scanlon in our Padres game preview on the Padres Radio Network.
We go down the way here at Petco Park. We're joined by Bob Scanlon. Scans, good to have you on the radio side of things here tonight. Let's talk about this team in general right now, Scan. Obviously, the Padres sitting with a really nice record of 17-8, bit of an up and down road trip to Houston and Detroit. We know they're dealing with so many significant injuries right now in that lineup. Scan, if you were taking kind of a temperature of the Padres right now, how would you assess where they are considering the record and the injuries and everything as they come back home?
Yeah, it's interesting. Jesse and I were talking about this just a little while ago about how much a nice start to the season helps, right? Because you're going to have situations like this where you're going to have the injuries are kicking in. And if you don't have a good start to the season and then the injuries kick in, all of a sudden you're battling to try to get to 500, and then guys start to try to press because they're trying to do too much or they're trying to pick up for guys being missing. And you know how that can kind of snowball out of control.
Yeah.
But because you've got off to this really nice start, you don't really feel like you have those pressures. It's more like, okay, a little bit of a storm going on right now. Let's just ride it out, keep doing what we've been doing. You've got enough pitching, to say the least, that you're going to be in every game. That's not a question. And if you have a lead after the 5th, there's a good chance you're going to win that game because of how dominant this bullpen has been. So, there's still a lot of positives going on. And I think the guys that have stepped up have done a really nice job. Jose Iglesias filling in for Jake and Tyler Wade filling in at center field. The Padres are still trying to figure out the left field situation. And Gavin Sheets has been absolutely amazing. So, there have been a lot of positives that have come out of that. Now, that all being said, would you rather have your forces back and have a little bit of a deeper bench right now? Yeah, absolutely. And that's on the way. The key thing is just ride out this storm, make sure that when those guys do come back, the Jackson Merrills and the Brandon Lockridges and, Jake Cronenworth, that they are truly healthy and ready to go, because you don't want to be one of those things where, oh my gosh, we're struggling right now or trying to, like the previous scenario we were talking about, where if you're trying to play catch up, all of a sudden guys try to start coming back sooner maybe than they would have otherwise. And then all of a sudden they're not fully 100% when they come back. They're more likely to get re-injured. That starts snowballing again. So look, great start to the season. You've got a little bit of a cushion right here. Take advantage of it. Make sure that everybody's healthy when they come back. And in the meantime, the shock troops have been doing a nice job of keeping things under control.
And we'll hear the latest on all the injuries the Padres are dealing with from Mike Shildt coming up a little bit later on. Scan, let's talk about the starting pitching matchup today. Shane Baz on the mound for the Rays, Michael King on the mound for the Padres. Let's start with the Rays right-hander Shane Baz. Really, really good few outings to begin his season. Little bit shakier his last time out. What can you tell us about Shane Baz and what we can expect from him tonight?
Well, he's a guy that's been coming off a lot of injuries over the course of his career, mostly elbow stuff. And now he's back, he's healthy, and he's showing why he was a number one pick originally. He's got great stuff. The fastball is explosive. He's got a great curveball to go with it. Used to be more with the slider, but the curveball has been so outstanding that he's just said, forget it. Let's just go north and south with this bad boy. 97 upstairs, hammer to go with it. And we'll get in more details of what he struggled with in his last outing, because there was a mechanical thing in particular that really seemed to cause him not to have the same command in that last outing versus the Yankees that he had in the previous outing. So we'll save that for the broadcast. But, bottom line, Sammy, when this guy is on, and he's been on most of the time this year, he's going to be tough. He's going to be the classic 97 up in the zone to go with the big hammer, kind of like Nick Pivetta with a little bit more on the heater. So it's going to be up to the Padres to pick what part of the zone they want to hunt for. If it's going to be a fastball up, you better make sure that you get on top of it. And the last thing you want to do is start chasing down, because that's where he's going to try to put you away with two strikes using that curveball.
Again, on the other side of this pitching matchup, right-hander Michael King on the mound for the Padres. He had that so-so start on opening day, but since then he's got a sub-2 ERA in his last 4 starts. He had that complete game shutout a couple of starts ago. What have you liked about what Michael King continues to do?
What's not to like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing all the same things that he did last year so effectively. And he's, everything that he learned last year, he has applied this year and taken it to a new level in terms of his pregame prep, his understanding what kind of a lineup he's going to face, preparing himself in the bullpen to get ready for that lineup that he's going to face, being able to put the last game behind him, whether it was good or bad, because the only thing that matters is the next team that's coming up. The way that he's been working lineups, the way that he's been using his repertoire, all of it. I mean, it's just so fun to watch. And it's not just one-dimensional in terms of, okay, if he's he has his two-seam fastball and he's going to complement it with his changeup, and if those two things are working, it's going to, no. There have been times where he's not had the two-seamer, so he goes to the four-seamer. There's been days where he's not had the great changeup command, so he's gone to the sweeper. He has really developed and emerged into a guy that has multiple weapons, knows how to use them on any given day, and it's been great to watch. So no reason to expect him not to have another outstanding outing today.
All right, Scans, good stuff as always. We'll talk to you and Jesse coming up at 6:30 as the Padres and Rays play game 1 of this 3-game series. As always, thanks so much.
Sounds great. Thanks, Sam.
All right, that is Bob Scanlon joining us on our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show here on the Padres Radio Network. A lot to do on our pregame coverage. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll tell you who's hot, who's not. We'll take a look at headlines from around the major leagues, and we'll also invite your keys to the game. As always, here today, you can find me on X or Instagram at SammyLev, SammyLev. You can mention me on X. You can also get into my DMs on Instagram. Let me know what your key to the game is, and you'll hear my keys to the game coming up a little bit later on in the 6 p.m. hour. When we return, we hear from the Padre manager, Mike Shildt. First pitch coming up at 6:40 right here on the Padres Radio Network. For EcoWater SoCal, Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we get ready for first pitch coming up at 6:40. Series opener between the Padres and the Rays. Rays come in 11-14, and the Padres come in 17-8. Padres facing the Rays today, Saturday, and Sunday, and then a day off Monday. 2 games against the Giants on Tuesday and Wednesday. A quick look at the Padres lineup today. Fernando Tatis Jr. in right field leading off. Xander Bogaerts up to the 2 spot today. Playing shortstop, Manny Machado at third base batting third. Gavin Sheets, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Oscar Gonzalez, the DH, batting fifth. Jose Iglesias at second base batting sixth. Tirso Ornelas in left field batting seventh. He'll make his Petco Park debut. Elias Diaz, the catcher, batting eighth. And Tyler Wade in center field batting ninth with right-hander Michael King on the mound. With all that in mind, let's hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
We know this place is special, but with the way you guys have played here this year, is it almost like a kind of a different special level?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I think we always, my time since we've been here, always enjoyed the synergy, the, support we get from our big league, with our big league club, with the, Petco Park. So I don't know if there's anything more special, but we're glad to be home. I can tell you that.
Watching Bergert walk around, everybody walking over, giving him a hug. It's interesting to see a club really embrace somebody like that who hasn't really been with them that long. Is that just kind of the atmosphere of the entire clubhouse here? It
is. I mean, we talk about loving each other quite a bit. You can say those words all the time, but they're hollow if they're not really meant or exhibited, and the actions don't meet the words. So Bergie's up. I'm sure we'll ask a question, but it's no surprise that guys are so encouraging when somebody gets an opportunity to come to the big league level and join our team.
I assume it's the multiple days off, the reason for him being up here and Hart being down for a bit.
Yeah, so we looked at it. We've looked at it for a while now. Lived with it. We thought Kyle's done well. He's had a couple innings, but other than a couple innings, it's been really, really good. Giving us a chance to compete. But you do look up and you recognize that day off yesterday, day off Monday, day off Thursday, go on the road, another day off, 2 days off on the road trip. So we looked up and we want to make sure we're taking advantage of our, off days to rest our starters, but they're getting rest. I mean, nobody's going to get compromised. Michael and Dylan were both going to go on regular rest at one point anyway with a 5-man, but now they're going to do that once also, but they're also getting extra days rest, and they had been getting extra days rest leading up to this. So a lot went into it, and here we are.
So is this effectively a 4-man for a couple of weeks?
It's a 4-man. We've got a date mapped out that, it starts to 5-man again, but for first couple 3 starts, we'll be in a 4-man.
And what is Bergert's role here? What do you envision?
The thing is, we've had Gillespie more in that longer role. With the days off that we have, I don't feel like that either Gillespie or Bergert need to absolutely be in the longer guy. But if the situation arises, they can be in that longer. Bergert's been a starter down in El Paso, and he's built up. So if something happens that we need some innings, he can clearly cover that. Logan also just went 45 pitches with 3 days off. He can cover it. But I don't feel like we're now in a situation where, one way or the other, we feel like we got to stay with this guy. I think a long way of saying is both these guys can pitch out of the bullpen in shorter lengths and burst.
For Kyle Hart, what's the directive to him, and what kind of opportunity is this for him, and just to work on some things?
Yeah, you know what? There was like a lot of these conversations especially when you do something from a roster standpoint that impacts somebody that. Not sitting down and having this clear conversation like, listen, it's not going well. It was more of a conversation. We're excited about where you're going. We see improvement consistently about where you're going. I'm thrilled that he is partnered with the pitching group, the other starters, Ruben, and the pitching staff to continue to, as we get to know Kyle, see this progression of the better version of him. He gets to start to be more comfortable pitching the big leagues again. All these are favorable things. The reality is we have these, a unique schedule where it just makes sense to do what we're doing. So now let's go continue to do what you're doing, continue to be effective in between your starts with your work and your game planning, and then go, do X, Y, Z to continue to perform when you come back up and help us out.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt earlier today inside the Padres dugout. We'll hear more from Mike on our post-game coverage coming up later on this evening. Let's quickly pause for station ID right here on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN-FM and KWFN-HD1 San Diego.
This is Xander Bergert. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
An Odyssey sports station.
Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Game 1 of this 3-game series coming up at 6:40 between the Padres and the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's tell you who's hot, who's not.
Which player is locked in at the dish? Who needs to kick things up another notch? This is Who's Hot, Who's Not on the Padres Radio Network.
A quick look at the hot category and the not category. The guy in the hot category, really only guy I think we can put in there right now for the Padres offensively, that would be Fernando Tatis Jr. Fernando entering today, hitting .333, 8 home runs, 17 RBIs. He continues to be among the league leaders in OPS, in home runs, in batting average, off to a great start. Had a pretty good road trip. Batted .292, had a triple, a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs on the trip. He did have his career-long 23-game on-base streak snapped on Wednesday in Detroit. Also had his 11-game hitting streak snapped as well, so we'll see if Fernando can get back on track in this series opener tonight. The not category, Manny Machado. Manny just 3 for 21 in his last 6 games. And that's a quick look at who's hot, who's not, as we get ready for this series opener here in downtown San Diego. Let's take a quick look at headlines from around the major leagues.
Let's examine the most important news and the latest information you need to know in the world of Major League Baseball. Sam Levitt takes you Around the Horn, presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Get ready for Major League winning when you join Valley View Casino and Hotel's Players Club and receive over $200 in free instant offers. Visit valleyviewcasino.com to learn more today.
Couple of headlines for you from earlier in the day. Blue Jays right-hander Max Scherzer threw 27 pitches off a mound today, and it was called by his manager, John Schneider, a step in the right direction as the right-hander recovers from a thumb injury. Pirates outfielder Tommy Pham was issued a 1-game suspension from Major League Baseball for what it described as, quote, inappropriate actions towards fans in a game at Angel Stadium earlier this week. He will serve that suspension today on the road against the LA Dodgers, and you can go research for yourself why exactly Tommy Pham was suspended, but he was suspended from Major League Baseball. He will miss today's game in LA. And that's a quick look at a couple of headlines from around the major leagues. We do have an active out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming up in our next segment. When we come back, we get a full injury update on all the guys, unfortunately, on the IL right now for the Padres. Plus, a little bit later, we hear from Ryan Bergert. We hear from Gavin Sheets as we walk you up towards first pitch coming up at 6:40 right here on the Padres Radio Network. Our EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. First pitch coming up at 6:40 between the Padres and the Tampa Bay Rays. Great starting pitching matchup today. Shane Baz on the mound for Tampa Bay. Michael King on the mound for San Diego. We'll have more on that pitching matchup coming up in just a little bit. Let's get to our injury report.
Who's in? Who's out? This is the Bada Fulkerson Injury Report, presented by San Diego's Bulldog Injury Attorneys, who hope you're never in an accident. But if you are, make Bada Fulkerson the first call you make. Hit them up 24/7 at badafulkerson.com.
Obviously, a lot of guys on the IL right now for the Padres. Luis Arraez, Jake Cronenworth, Jackson Merrill, Brandon Lockridge, Jason Hayward, Yu Darvish obviously working his way back as well. We got a very full injury update earlier today from Mike Shildt. First here was Mike on Luis Arraez.
He's getting better every day. I haven't seen him yet, which is, I want to go see this and hug him. But, yeah, every day's been better for him, sleeping better. Grogginess subsiding, activity increasing, but still, working his way back to full, activity.
Merrill was out there a little earlier. Lockridge, full injury report. Can you give it to us?
Yeah. I mean, it's I'll give you Crony too, and Darvish is throwing aside today, so we got figure this one will take a while. But Jackson and Lockridge are all both in good places. Have had, they really were intentional about getting the proper amount of rest, but also the proper amount of treatment coupled with baseball activity while we were on the road trip. They really have progressed nicely. We're going to continue to evaluate them in the next 3 days, but they're both getting to a higher increase in their running. They're both able to get closer to a sprint level, which is clearly good. Do some defensive work. And also some, full swings and so forth. So they're getting closer. We'll still figure out what that looks like relative to being able to get out and what rehab or some kind of live BPs look like. But they're getting closer.
He's running full speed though. So what's the next step?
Who's it?
Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the next step for either?
Being able to decrease volume, being able to run full speed, and then being able to do a little bit more things to create a little bit more intensity to that. It's running full speed, then it's running full speed. How often, how much, what direction, change direction. So those are the next boxes to check.
Is there a chance they can return this homestand, or would you rather be just
I think a much, much, much more likely chance that they're going to get through this 3 games, and then they're going to have a chance to go to Arizona to work on some live batting at bats and other things that will get them back to playing with us, hopefully sooner than later, but I wouldn't expect this homestand, no, man.
And do you have any clarity on Jason Hayward?
I do have clarity on what he's doing. He is doing better. We got swings and flips in the cage yesterday, starting to do some directional movement, and is feeling better and recovering better. Everybody's recovering well and moving forward to the next steps of their progression.
That was a very full injury update from Mike Shildt. So again, main takeaways from what he said today and what from AJ Preller said earlier today on 97.3 The Fan. Sounds like a pretty long shot that Jackson Merrill, Jake Cronenworth, or Brandon Lockridge will return on this homestand. We'll see with Luis Arraez. So we know for at least a little bit it's going to continue to be a lineup without a lot of key guys in it. We'll see how the Padres do this weekend in this 3-game series against Tampa Bay. Let's give you our keys to tonight's game.
How will the Padres unlock a win today? These are the keys to the game. Presented by El Centro Motors Ford. Meet your new Ford General Manager, Greg Ryan, now at El Centro Motors Ford, your new Ford truck, Bronco, and SUV HQ. Call Greg directly at 619-944-0774.
Key number 1, RISP. The Padres hit just 146 and 41 at-bats with runners in scoring position on their 6-game road trip. The Padres have scored just 20 runs combined in their last 8 games. That's 2.5 runs per game. And in those 8 games, they're batting 169 with runners in scoring position. So bottom line, sorry, I have somebody taking a selfie. Hello. They surprised me. I didn't see him. Hi. In those 8 games, the Padres hitting 169 with runners in scoring position. So bottom line, Padres have to do better with RISP here tonight and moving forward. Key number 2, I'm flustered here. I don't get flustered usually here inside the loft. Key number 2, a bogey bomb. The Padres need more thump from Xander Bogaerts in the middle of that lineup, especially with all the injuries the Padres are dealing with right now. Bogaerts has not hit a home run in 98 plate appearances to start the year. He hasn't driven in a run since April 8th. That's a span of 13 games for Xander without an RBI. Bogaerts is 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position in that span. And whether you look at Bogey or anybody else in the top 4 or so of that lineup, Tatis, Bogaerts, Machado, and Sheets today, Padres need Bogey and those guys to produce because, again, so many injuries in that lineup right now. Key number 3, get happy at home. Padres pitching has a 1.30 ERA in 118 innings at Petco Park this season. You compare that to a 4.81 ERA on the road this year. Michael King on the mound today, so certainly a good guy to start a homestand and get things going on the pitching side at home once again. And that's a look at our keys to the game on this Friday evening. Well, as we said earlier, Padres making a move earlier today. Ryan Bergert called up from AAA El Paso. Kyle Hart optioned to AAA El Paso. Bergert is 25 years old, ranked as the number 22 prospect in the Padres system, according to MLB.com. He spent a long time in the Padres system, gone through all the different levels, and now his first outing with the Padres will be his major league debut. Earlier today, inside the Padres clubhouse, Ryan Bergert talked about how he found out he was going to the show.
So yesterday, after BP, our manager in El Paso, Zamo, he called like an impromptu team meeting. Didn't really know what it was about. Did his whole speech and let me know that I was going to San Diego. And then shortly after, they told me I had a flight at like 8:40 that night. So left, packed up, and got on my way here. So,
what were your emotions when you find out that news?
I didn't really believe it at first. It was kind of surreal. But after a while, it kind of settled in a little bit. Probably once I got to the airport, everything that was really going on. But very excited and happy to be here. So,
who was your first phone caller to?
To my wife. I called her because I just left her at the apartment maybe an hour or two beforehand before I got to the field. So I called her. She kind of figured it. That's what the call was about because I never call her when I'm at the field. So that was pretty cool.
It sounds like you'll be in the bullpen. What have they shared with you about the role you'll have to start here?
That's pretty much all they've really told me so far, that I'm becoming another pen. Not quite sure what my role is, but I'm just happy to help and ready to go.
Who among friends and family is here tonight for you?
I know my parents will be here, my younger brother, grandmother will be here, and my wife. And then I think some other family might sprinkle in during the rest of the weekend. So,
how has the start of the season gone for you? The time you spent in big league camp and then the start of the season in El Paso. What have you made of it?
I mean, I feel like I just tried to take every day one day at a time, trying to get better each day, learning from all the people around me. And I think that mindset has helped me, just kind of be where my feet are. I know it's kind of a cliche, but overall, I just feel like just getting better one day at a time. So,
joining a very talented bullpen, what do you look most forward about being with those guys?
I feel like I got a decent relationship with most of them. Last few spring trainings, getting to know them, and just ready to pick their brains and see how they go about their business. So,
what kind of difference does that make? The fact that you were in Major League spring training the last couple of years?
I think it helps a lot. Just some familiarity with the team and being around the guys a decent amount. I think it'll help a lot.
That was Ryan Bergert, the newest member of the San Diego Padres bullpen. A big congratulations to Ryan Bergert, his first call up to the major leagues, and we'll see when Ryan does indeed make his major league debut out of the bullpen. Like we said earlier, Padres electing to go with a 4-man rotation for the time being, schedule allowing that with a lot of off days. coming up. So Ryan Bergert now an extra arm out of the Padres pen. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
We already have 2 games postponed in the Midwest today. The Orioles and the Tigers in Detroit, Red Sox and the Guardians in Cleveland. They'll make both those games up as part of doubleheaders tomorrow. One final already. Cubs beat the Phillies 4-0 in Chicago today. Game's going on right now. Mets ahead of the Nationals 4-3 in the 9th inning. Mets trailed that game 3-0 in the 8th. Mets scoring 4 in the top half of the 8th inning, including a go-ahead 3-run triple from Mark Vientos to take a 4-3 lead. Blue Jays and the Yankees tied at 1 in the 8th inning in the Bronx. Twins lead the Angels 9-1 in Minnesota in the 5th inning. Royals 2, Astros 0 in Kansas City in the 7th. Cardinals 1, Brewers 0 in St. Louis in the 4th inning. Reds and the Rockies tied at 1 in Colorado in the 2nd. Games yet to begin. Braves in Arizona against the D-backs at 6:40. Marlins in Seattle at 6:40. Rays and the Padres here at 6:40. You know about that one. White Sox and the A's at 7:05 in Sacramento. Pirates and the Dodgers, heck of a pitching matchup there at 7:10 in L.A. Paul Skeens on the mound for the Pirates. Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for L.A. And finally, Rangers and the Giants at 7:15. Nate Eovaldi on the mound for Texas. Justin Verlander on the mound for San Francisco. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday. We'll have much more on all those games coming up later in our post-game coverage. When we come back, we hear from Gavin Sheets. We also have a full breakdown of today's pitching matchup between Michael King and Shane Baz. First pitch coming up at 6:40 on the Padres Radio Network. Welcome back to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal keeping it soft since 1925. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Game one of this three-game series coming up between the Padres and the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch at 6:40. Michael King on the mound for the Padres. Shane Baz on the mound for the Rays. Much more on that pitching matchup coming up in just a little bit. First, let's tell you what to watch for in tonight's game.
What's the one thing Sam Levitt will be keeping his eye on in today's game? This is What to Watch For, presented by Genesis Home Improvements, San Diego's trusted painting, roofing, and window company. Save 15% today on a new beginning for your home. Visit GenesisHomeImprovementsSD.com.
What to watch for in game one of this three-game set. What Rays offense shows up today? This has been a really interesting Rays lineup. They've been very boom or bust. The Rays have scored nearly 7.5 runs per game in their 11 wins. They've scored just 2 runs per game in their 14 losses. That's the second biggest discrepancy in the major leagues between runs scored in wins versus runs scored in losses. So what Rays offense shows up today? Well, we're going to find out. That's what to watch for in today's game, and certainly how Michael King does against this Rays lineup. Well, speaking of the Padres lineup, Gavin Sheets back in there today. He's actually cleaning up today and playing first base. Xander Bogaerts moved up for the number 2 spot today at shortstop, so Sheets batting behind Manny Machado and cleaning up today. Gavin Sheets spoke with the media earlier today inside the Padres clubhouse.
I mean, it's been, what, a month or so being in San Diego, but I mean, just like the swing changes you made, the approach, just being around this kind of competitive ball club, like what's it meant to you and kind of the revitalization of your career there?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I think the biggest thing is just getting back to a competitive ball club, trying to win every game. They're just putting the focus on the night at hand and how you're going to help the team win. And, you kind of put individual stats off to the side and just figure out how you're going to win the game that night. And I think when you do that as a player, it's just kind of a refreshing mindset. You don't put too much pressure on yourself and you just kind of feed off what this lineup's capable of and what this team's capable of.
Talked to AJ a couple of weeks ago. I said, what'd you see in Gavin? He said you saw the makeup of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you when you talk about the makeup of the guy and wanting to be bring somebody in this clubhouse who they know is going to fit well and do things the right way?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest focus this offseason is finding a team that, would be a good fit for me and that wanted me, but also that was ready to win again. And that's something that I've craved and I've missed and getting back to a team that, has high expectations, has expectations of playing late in October and winning a World Series. And just kind of that refreshing mindset of attacking every day and coming in and being with a bunch of talent around here and superstars and just fitting in with the system. It's been a super refreshing start and it's been fun to be a part of.
Getting to be back at home after a little bit of a rough road trip, a place where you guys have done phenomenally this season. What does it mean you guys get to be back here?
I love it. It's so much fun to play at home. You feed off this crowd and just the way they bring it every single night. I mean, it's something that we definitely feed off of, and we love being back home and playing in front of these fans. And I'm certainly excited to get back to it.
Is that something maybe surprised you? I mean, you've seen it from the other side. You've heard about it, but just to see, I mean, it's like a Tuesday night, 42,000 people in here. How impressive is that?
It's crazy. I mean, I've been here 2 times with the White Sox in 22 and in the last year. And, I've always known how loud it gets, but those have always been weekend series. And to see Monday night, Tuesday nights, it's the same every single night. And it's such a great thing to have for us and something that we feed off of. And we're definitely excited to be back home.
You've been higher in the batting order, sandwiched between Fernando and Manny. Have you had to adjust kind of your approach at all, being a little bit higher in between those two guys?
No. You try not to change anything about where you hit in the lineup. Obviously, it's great to hit in between two guys like that. I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, there's nothing to it. It's special to be in between those two guys and hitting in those guys and have that kind of protection. But in terms of changing your approach and everything, no, not really. Try to do the same thing that got me to that spot and but definitely feed off of having those two guys around me for sure.
That was Gavin Sheets earlier today inside the Padres clubhouse. Again, you heard my question about Gavin batting higher in the order. And again, today he's not batting between Fernando and Manny. He's actually batting behind Manny in the cleanup spot. So we'll see how that goes today for Gavin Sheets and the Padres as they open up this 3-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's take a deeper look at our starting pitching matchup between Michael King and Shane Baz.
Let's take a look at who's on the bump today with our starting pitching preview on the Padres Radio Network.
Right-hander Michael King on the mound for the Padres today. 3-0, a 2.57 ERA in 5 starts so far this season. 28 innings, 31 strikeouts, and 10 walks. King is 3-0 with a 1.78 ERA in his last 4 outings after what was a pretty tough outing on opening day. His last start in Houston, 5 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs given up, 4 hits allowed, gave up that 2-run home run late in the outing, and that was it. This will be King's first outing against the Rays as a Padre. He faced them a ton as a New York Yankee, 11 outings against Tampa Bay as a Yankee, 18-plus innings, and a 6.38 ERA against them. So his numbers overall against the Rays have not been all that good. We'll see if he can change those fortunes here tonight. Meanwhile, on the mound for Tampa Bay, right-hander Shane Baz, 25 years old, very talented, first-round pick a number of years ago by Tampa Bay. In 2025 so far, 2-0 of 4 starts, 22-plus innings, 30 strikeouts, and 8 walks. His last start against the Yankees wasn't great. Went 3 innings and a third, 4 earned runs given up, 4 hits allowed, and walked 4. But in his 3 starts prior to that last one, a combined 1.42 ERA in 19 innings, 27 strikeouts in those 19 frames. Shane Baz, a big strikeout guy. This will be his second career start against the Padres. He went 5 innings last season at the Trop in Tampa Bay and picked up the win in that game against the Padres, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and walked 3 with 5 strikeouts. So second career start against the Padres for Shane Baz, his first career start here at Petco Park. And that's a look at our starting pitching matchup here tonight. Shane Baz for Tampa Bay and Michael King on the mound for the Padres. As always, thank you for listening to the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. EcoWater SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. Your water should be perfect. Let's set the table one more time for you as we get ready for first pitch coming up at 6:40. Padres 17-8 to begin the season. Rays 11-14. Padres 12-1 at home to begin the year. Can the Padres keep it rolling here in downtown San Diego? We're going to find out. When we come back, Jesse and Bob Scanlon are with you tonight. They have first pitch and all the play-by-play right here on the Padres Radio Network. Enjoy the game, everybody.